Greetings, everyone, and welcome to the month of October, my monthly predictions for Flying Star and Feng Shui. If you are new to me, hello, my name is Kathleen Zemansky. I'm a business Feng Shui master, business astrologer, and the creator of the TimeBlazr business management system. So we are sheltering in place. We're continuing to do so as we go into these cooler months. We know that flu season is also going to be woven together like a really chaotic tapestry of, oh my gosh, we're kind of really in for it, because in many parts of the world, including the U.S., we didn't actually take seriously not everyone, half of the country didn't take seriously that we have a pandemic that will spread. Maybe you'll look up the word pandemic. But what I would like to say to you is that we do need to take precautions. As you probably heard by now, that we have one of the most important people in the world, and many of staff and family have tested positive for COVID. So if the highest powers of the land, who has every single medical and expertise in front of them, and that can infiltrate the highest powers of the land, what about the rest of us? So sheltering in place is going to be a very first good move for you guys that are out there listening to me right now, and I hope you are. So number two is that I really feel that now more than ever, maybe you have not up until this point considered how important Feng Shui is for your space. So I want you to start thinking in a couple of different ways. One, I want you to think about your space, whatever space that you're either renting, leasing, or own, is kind of like your body. Like if I would put a tourniquet around my hand, eventually my hand's gonna fall off because there's nothing there that needs to have a tourniquet, right? I'm taking one of these veins and I'm pushing on them, and so this is really actually causing some problem of flow that properly should be going through my body if everything is in homeostasis. Well, let's face it, our spaces right now are our best opportunity to get that homeostasis, get that balance into your life. So here's what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at each and every one of the sectors. But before we get started, we are in the year of the metal rat. We cannot ignore, even though we're going to be looking forward, starting in November, I think, I'm going to start having you look at what is the remaining energy going to be like, and then how are each of these animals going to be beginning to open up for the year of the metal ox. But right now it's been a pretty big mess, if you will. So then the other thing I would love for you to do, if you again are new to me, welcome. We really certainly love having you here. And number two, I want you to go ahead and hit that like button. If you really like what you heard today, if there's something that is maybe new or you haven't heard before that you could that could be of use to the community, please put that in the comments below, and please share. This is how we are going to be able to build in this time. I'm doing this service for free right now, so if you could, in my generosity to you, your generosity back to me is go ahead and share this post and comment, and then go ahead and hit that bell, because we are going to be going on every single day until I get through each one of these sectors, and I do this every month. This is the third month I started this. This is something that I do for my own space, so I figured if it's something that I know that works, why can't I help other people in the way? So this is my way of giving back, so please help share the love, okay? All right, then the other thing that, if you haven't already figured it out, we've got some pretty big shifts that have already started to take place. One has been, we're starting a new decade. no new news there. We started 12 new animals with the rats, so this is the new cycle. So beginnings are tough. Beginnings are really sometimes it's that uncertainty of not knowing what to do. If you came to my annual event though in January, and this was pre-COVID, I was talking about, super viruses. You were going to have to be wearing some face coverings, which is not a normal thing to do in the Western world. As you're seeing, half of the country is still to this day fighting to cover their face, when knowingly, back from the time from 2000 in 1918, that's the recommendation, was to go ahead and wear face masks, do social distancing, as well as hygiene. So I'm not sure why it is such a, history is repeating itself. We know that it will, and that's where astrology and science do meet, because we know there is a repeatable pattern here, and when we know when something works, why not use it, right? Okay, so then let's go on to what's happening, where we're going to be talking about today. So we've got person, space, and time. So person is 33% of what's happening in your life. The space, which is the Feng Shui, is 33%. And then using the favorable timing, which is the TimeBlazr, that's 33%. So if you follow this holistic model, you actually start to begin to have 99% control of your life. Now, just listening to this information isn't going to magically, things are going to happen for you. You actually have to do something. So I'll tell you what the doing part is right now. And I'm going to make it super simple and easy, but you do need to have a couple of tools. One is, I'm going to send you over to this website over here, and you're going to want to put in freebusinessastrology.com. And this is the astrological chart that we use. So this system that I follow, which is classical Feng Shui, person, space, time, and universe, if you will. What we look at is what is happening in your life, what's trending right now, what problems you might be having, and then we take that information, we superimpose it over the floor plan. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to look at all of those animals that are in the natal chart, and that's your year of birth, which is about your branding, your reputation, your advertising efforts, social media, things like that. And your month of birth is going to be about your career, your character, what you're best suited at doing. Your day of birth is about you, your mindset. We've talked about this each and every day almost, about how important it is that you attract things in. You're saying you want something, and then you don't want to push it away. You want to say, yes, please, yes, I've asked for that to come in, so embrace it and bring it in. And then your hour of birth is about your legacy. It is about your life purpose. It is your goals. So it's a very important, it's about your research and development as well. Like, your testing, your A/B testing, or, testing a hypothesis of whether or not you're on the right track with the goal. This is where this hour of birth can help you. I realize all of you may not know your hour of birth. Don't worry about it, because you still can get a lot done. I just gave you 3 other pillars. That's 75% of what you didn't potentially know before. So go ahead and get that chart. That would be step number 1. Now, what we're going to ask you to do next is you're going to want to go ahead and get an accurate floor plan, because an accurate floor plan is going to start helping you understand how to use your space a lot better. So you're going to have to find a way to get that accurate floor plan. You can go to property management if you own the building. A lot of times, at least in the US, they're in your closing documents, at least an outline sketch of your floor plan. But you can also go to the building department in your particular area. Then you could also hire somebody. If there's, there are locations, I have actually feng shuied many places in different parts of the world that they just didn't have, because they don't keep records like potentially we do in the continental U.S., because I ran into that with a client in Hawaii. They just didn't keep records. It was just that kind of aloha kind of way of running everything over there, which is really wonderful. It's a nice way, a nice lifestyle for living. But anyway, we couldn't get a floor plan, so we had to have someone come in and design it. So there's that. And then there's apps out there. I wish I could recommend one, but I don't. I actually use a service here locally. So that's how I get my floor plans drawn up. So you do need to get that. Then you're going to need to take a compass reading. So there is, I believe, a link below about how to take a compass reading. And then also we're going to give you, if you'd like, the free compass styles. I'm going to talk about those right now, but just know that they're linked below, and I'll tell you how to take a compass reading as well. All right, so here's our annual flying star. So let's start there. And what we're going to be doing, or what I'm going to be doing for you, is I'm going to start at the Central Palace, and then I'm going to go all the way around the in a clockwise direction, starting in the southeast, south, southwest, all the way around till we get to the east, and then we'll finish that up. So in 9 days, you'll know what the month of October is. All right, so the first thing I want you to know is the Central Palace. We have a 7 for the annual this year, and it's about legal. So in the Central Palace in particular, this is, sometimes I'm going to tell you some long-term attributes as well. So what I want you to understand is the Central Palace is one of the very important parts of a Feng Shui analysis. What's happening in the center is it's kind of like the heart, if you will, of your body. It's sort of in the central part of your chest, maybe not equidistance, but maybe your floor plan is an equidistance either on one side of the house or the other. Obviously, we like in Feng Shui to have what we call as 4-point gold, which means it's a square. It's a complete square. We don't have missing corners. We don't have extensions. And, that's ideal. But we realize that most architects over the years do not design that way. So we have to do what we can do with what we have. But the Central Palace is the heart of your home, if you will. So we really want to make sure that that's intact. So we don't want to see things like stairwells and water and fire elements like a furnace or a fireplace. We don't want to see clogged up storage areas. We want it nice and open. So ideally, that's what we'd like to see, but many times we don't see that. So what I want you to just take note of is just try to make sure it's as clean as possible, as orderly as possible. No drippy drains if you do have water in that area. And if you can avoid actually using it in the month of October, that might not be a bad idea. And I'll tell you why in just a second here. All right, so now let's look at the next slide. Do take note that the dog month starts in the month, on October the 8th. So this is one of those months that starts a little bit late. The Chinese calendar never starts on the 1st of the month. It starts anywhere from 3-4, like Chinese New Year in 2021 starts on the 3rd instead of the 4th this year. And then, we go all the way to November 7th in the month of October, or the dog month. So October the 8th to November the 7th, we have that full time for the TimeBlazr. Oops. There we go. Okay. Clicked on the wrong button there. All right, so let's have a look to see what the Central Palace is about this particular month. So and the other thing I wanted to tell you before I went on, that in every single box you're going to see the annual star on the right side, and the monthly star, which changes every month, is going to be on the left-hand side. So each of these boxes will be the same. So we're looking at the story, if you will, of what 9 and 7 have to tell us, if you will. All right, so the 9 and the 7 in the Central Palace. What I want you to just take a breath, because it's going to be a little bit frustrating in the Central Palace. You're going to have delays. Things are just going to be in opposition. This is really the polarities of this particular in just about anything. So you're going to try to get things done, and it seems like you're just going to have to either pull back, go in a different direction, and it's not going to be by choice. It's going to literally be about frustration. So you're going to have to expect that you're going to get potentially a little gain, but a whole lot of effort. Okay. So you may be in divide when it comes to communication as well. So no matter what you say or do, you're going to be faced with or contend with opposite views. And it's kind of like, the sky is blue. No, it's fuchsia, or and well, here in the Bay Area it certainly has been because of our fires, but what I'm trying to say is it's just no matter what you do, you just can't get ahead. So let's face it, people are exhausted right now, whether it be COVID, politics, social injustice, fires, hurricanes, floodings, etc. So I do live in Northern California, and I heard on the news that they're coining a new phrase right now called fire fatigue. So we've been in this pattern for 3 years now of just horrific loss of property, life, just scorching of the land. It really is quite sad to see, and we've been in very hazardous hazy smoke since October the 16th. Ooh, yeah, I would say it's fire fatigue at this point. Everybody's had enough. Whether you live in California or you live in other parts of the world, people are really kind of up to here. I'm telling you, if you spend time in the center part of your house, a lot of time, because this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to be putting our body into any one of these areas, and that's going to help you start getting this vibration. So we're going to want to be in the positive areas, not the negative. This was going to be one of them that I'm going to say, try to just avoid this. Just keep it clean and clutter-free as possible, but you are going to have a little bit of upset if you spend too much time here. Now, we still have some time if you're listening to this recording near the time of that I'm recording. So up until the 8th of October, you can be in the Central Palace because it's actually good in the previous month. So just go back and listen to the Central Palace if you want to hear a recap of that on YouTube. Okay. Then let's see what else we want to say about this. Basically what you're going to need to do if you are going to choose to use the Central Palace this particular month, it is going to be pretty much on your own inner strength. You're not really going to have a lot of universal support here because the universe is saying this combination is not going to be benefiting you. Okay, so now I want to show you the next slide here. Someone actually reached out. I'm sorry I don't have your name at the top of my head right now. I hope to find it, or if you can comment. Yeah, that was me who asked to have you put up a floor plan. So here I am. I'm going to be talking about a floor plan and how this particular person might be able to be using the energies. So as you can see on this particular floor plan, what we've got here is the Flying Star dial. I don't have the Feng Shui dial up on this one yet, and every day I'm going to be adding that number that will be in this particular area, or the areas around the compass dial. So we have in the Central Palace, it looks like there's, in this particular floor plan, yes, there is kind of a big block here. It could be, I'm not certain what this is. It could be cabinetry, it could be a hall, but this whole area, what I would recommend, that's in that center where it says legal, there's a 9 which is red, and the 7, and then what I'll do is I'll sort of color code those numbers here as well on overall what it's going to be. So if it's going to be more positive, I'll make it a different color just so it'll stand out for you. Okay. All right. So not too much information to go on right here. So just want to say the Central Palace, you want to keep as open and clean as possible. So we also would love for you to be able to have this dial. So just go to Free Compass Dial. There's a link below. So go ahead and do that. Now, let's look at the Flying Star of the year. Now, I don't have the floor plan with this on it, or those with both, but maybe I'll throw that in the upcoming days for you so you can see it as we go along here. So what we have here is, we look at both of these actually. We want to look at the flying star and the feng shui, because sometimes one is going to be benefiting, or when they actually kind of layer up. So we're doing this, adding just a good layer of energy over it, and just keep building that up. So when the flying star and the feng shui unite, wow, it's a really vibrant area and you really want to use it. When it's kind of a mixed bag, you're going to have to kind of make a decision on whether or not to use it or not. But that's the purpose of this series, is for me to kind of tell you, like today I'm saying don't spend time in the center palace, because that's not going to really be that much help to you, okay? All right, so let's just talk about this dial just a little bit more. So we're in the center, and in feng shui, in the annual feng shui, we don't really have, like in the flying star, we had an attribute. In the feng shui dial, we don't. So we just want to keep it clean and flowing. So how you're going to be using this dial, you're going to superimpose this one as well over your floor plan, is you are going to have the green areas, which I support as being good. So in the south west one, I'll talk a little bit more deeply about this, but I just want you to take caution that there's the 3 killings over the southwest one, so you can be in the southwest. I just don't want you to do any renovations in the west. You can definitely be in the west. We like the west this year. It's very good for prosperity, especially for future assets, if you will. So that could be anywhere from a piece of real estate to your own IP. And then the northeast, which we'll get to in a couple of days as well, this is the ox direction. So this is something that you're going to be able to use these 3 areas. Wherever you see red or this 5 yellow, I really want you to avoid those areas, because they are unstable. They will bring even more problems than we're already dealing with right now. So, some of these things we don't have control over. We don't have control over how governments in general have handled this whole pandemic. So we just need to do the best that we can do, right? Okay. All right. So, like I said, if you are interested in these compass dials, we will send them to you at freecompassdial.com. There's a link that is below. All right, now I want to talk very briefly about my TimeBlazr. It is a personalized favorable timing calendar. And every Tuesday, what I do is what's called TimeBlazr Tuesday. And this TimeBlazr Tuesday is where I go ahead and talk about the upcoming week and how you can best play that week out. So, this particular month, the month of the dog, looks like we still have the rooster up, so we'll get that changed out for you tomorrow. But basically what we've got here is the calendar that will start telling you when is the best time to do certain activities. And this is for your important launches. Right now we're giving away a free 30-day trial, and October is a really good month to opt in for that, because there are so many good days in October. And it's because that the energy over the course of the year is built. So typically October is pretty vibrant, but is it vibrant to you? Because this is a personalized calendar. So you'll find out very quickly which days are going to be good for you. But tomorrow I'll be back we're going to talk about the Southeast Palace, and then I'm also going to be doing a separate TimeBlazr Tuesday YouTube live video as well, so I can help you plan out your week, okay? So you're going to want to go ahead and get your tools together, as in your floor plan, your Feng Shui, you're going to go get your compass reading done so you can overlay those floor plans. You're going to get your astrology chart, and you're going to opt in. And all of this is free. All of these tools are free for you to use. So if you really want to start changing the course and direction of your life, now's the time to pick up those tools so you can make informed decisions. So the last thing I want to tell you about is my annual event. We are already selling tickets for the annual event, and I have extra early bird tickets on sale right now. So it is January 16th and 17th. It's live stream only for the obvious reasons, and it's between 11 and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. And what you need to do is go to bit.ly/Metal Ox, and that's all lowercase. So we thank you very much for following us today. We really do appreciate it. And again, if you are new to us, go ahead and click that subscribe button, that bell, and leave us a comment. We really do appreciate that. See you tomorrow, twice on YouTube Live. Bye-bye. Take care.